Welcome, thanks for coming. This presentation is about Plonesocial, Plone goes social. My name is Guido Stevens. You can find me on IRC as Giest, and on Twitter as Guido Stevens. A short overview of the presentation. First I'll go into the why of Plone needs to go social and what it will entail. Second part is about a demo and a feature listing of the stuff I've developed over the last half year. And finally we'll go into some more technical details about how exactly this stuff is implemented and which performance optimizations were needed to make it work. So first of all, why? But the why is social business. And social business is a $1.3 trillion value opportunity as calculated by McKinsey. So that's like a million euro. And basically this derives from the fact that social business is used to drive out email as the primary communications means in enterprises. So there's a lot of inefficiencies with email, and if you can get to Twitter or Yammer or Facebook like status updates for that, you can switch from a push model to a pull model where people control which information they want to receive. That eliminates so much waste that it can increase productivity for knowledge workers, which lots of people are nowadays. It can increase productivity by 25%. So that's a lot of money that can be made. And this also explains why, for example, Microsoft acquired Yammer for $1.2 trillion. It was 1.2 trillion. Yeah, it's huge, for an activity stream. So they're going to integrate that into the SharePoint probably. So let's see what we can do with Plone for that. Now the whole idea of social business boils down to very simple principles. It's people over documents. So instead of having a document-driven stuff, it's how can we connect people in an enterprise and be more agile and more adaptive. It's flow over structure. So instead of having document trees and all kinds of procedure, it's more like okay, how can we make our enterprise knowledge flow more smoothly and connect experts with each other, instead of having all kinds of defined processes which slow things down. And finally, it's about network over hierarchy. So this is about connecting people, and it's overlaying, you always have a hierarchy in an enterprise, but you can overlay that with a network structure, which enables parallel communication, which allows people to reach out across divisional boundaries and connect stuff and get things done faster than they would through the normal channels. If we translate this into a technology paradigm, well, we have a Web 1.0 paradigm and we have a Web 2.0 paradigm. I think this is crucial. So in Web 1.0, you have a publish and then mostly read environment. In Web 2.0, that's a read-write interactive environment. In Web 1.0, it's centered on content management. But in Web 2.0, it's about social networking. It's about connecting people. We used to have a document tree, and we have that in Plone, but now it's about activity streams. It's about updates. You move from a place-centric, a static view of how things are, to a time-centric, what's happening now view. You move from a global shared state where everybody knows about the same, to a very personalized experience where each person maintains their own perspective on the whole of the organization or on what is going on. And finally, that means that you move from a top-down control paradigm to a much more bottom-up sharing paradigm. Now the left column is what Plone does very well out of the box. For the right column, we have some bits and pieces, but there's nothing like an integrated approach to integrating this paradigm into Plone. And my position is that it must be, because if we can't do this, then Plone is not a viable platform in the long run. Web 2.0 has been around for more than 6 years now, and people just expect this kind of functionality. And we need to be able to somehow combine, the tree-based ZODB paradigm with the much more time and flow-based experience that people expect from social networking. So let me show you how this works in practice. So I created a set of social components which are available as separate building blocks, but there's also one integration component which provides all of the configuration out of the box. So that's the real demo stuff and the stuff that you can just have a one-click install on. So there's one egg that you install in your build-out, and then you can activate that egg. It takes the time to build your new Plone site. Okay, and Then you have the activity stream here. You can input a status update there, so you can just like you do on Twitter, update that status, and it's shared in the activity stream. There's multiple views. This is the explore view where you see everything going on the side. You can also, apart from status updates, use Plone discussion on content, so you can have streams on content objects. Just doing a command in there. That will show up in the activity stream as well. So if I now go back home. So there's the command in the activity stream. So you can see we have Plone discussion there, microblog status updates, content creation, it's all listed there. You can also configure which of these to show in this portlet, in this homepage portlet. You can filter on these types of updates, what you want to see. But it looks a bit ugly because I didn't fill anything in. So let me fill in, a profile so you can see what happens in the activity stream there. This is just a normal Plone personal information graphs which is filled out. Nothing is customized here except for the image scaling. Okay, so now I move to the profile page. So you have a short profile. This overrides author CPT. It just shows you the stuff that's going on, stuff I did. Oh, that's fast. Yeah. So, fast. So, but that's all very boring if you're doing this alone in your site. So I also created a demo profile which loads 25 users and just starts random status updates, so you can get an impression of what does a site look like if it's actively used. So here you can then see all these status updates from all these people. They all have their own profile. And what's more interesting, you can also people follow each other. I'm as a site administrator not following anybody yet, so I'm just seeing my own updates. But I can go to the global activity stream, which shows me an unfiltered view of everything that's going on. I can pick some interesting people there, start following them. I can then explore the social graph and take a look at who is following this Pearly Whitby, or who is she following, and then I can pick some interesting people from there, start following them as well. And then if I go to the filtered network updates view, I get the updates from just the people that I'm following and which are selected. And I can of course still go to the explore view and see all the updates that are going on. And this is then finally my profile. So that's basically the functionality we have in there. And to summarize the features that are in there, it's about having microblog status updates, which are stored into the ZODB. Then having an activity stream, which is available as a standalone view, but also as a portlet, which shows not only the microblog status updates, but it also shows normal content creation. So this immediately integrates with normal Plone activities. It also integrates with the Plone discussion, and it shows you discussion commands made throughout the site in the global activity stream. Finally, we also have a social networking component, which provides a personal profile view with follow and follow buttons, like you saw. It also provides social graph views where you can see who's following whom, and who is somebody followed by, and you can explore that as well. And then finally, if you have a follow-unfollow component installed, it will filter the activity stream on this social graph. How does it work in practice? Like I said, it's just a single act that you need to install. So you add Plonesocial.suite to your build-out eggs, you run build-out, and then you run the quick installer on the Plonesocial suite profile, and you're up and running. That's basically what you just saw. Well, I ran the demo profile, but functionality, that's the same. There's no extra dependencies in there. Just for the demo content, I'm using Plone API and lorem ipsum, but all the core stuff that I created, it's all just native Plone, and it just works like that. So this is an overview of the Plonesocial .star packages. We have the suite, which I demoed to you, which is the one-click installer, and this builds and it basically installs these three components, which are the actual working components. And you can use the low-level components if you want to, somehow as an integrator create your own customized solution. These are orthogonal. I mean, they're aware of each other, but they don't depend on each other. So you can install any combination of these three packages, and that will just work. But you may need to do some extra wiring up if you have some missing functionality there. And also, Plant is Plonesocial-like. It's liking content, but also following content and getting activity streams on content in the global activity stream. Performance. If you do this like I did in the ZODB without any extra components, then you will hit a ZODB commit ceiling where you will run into commit collisions at 10 or 20 commits per second. So that's nice for a very small site, but as soon as you go above a very small site, that will not perform. So we worked on that, and I need to thank Moritz for helping me with that on the Sorrento sprint. And we finally came up with a solution that first, drop some asset, which means don't store everything into the ZODB right away, but just cache it in memory for 1 second. I mean, we can allow to lose 1 second of tweets, once a year, right? If you do that, then you can flush those, once a second into the ZODB, and that's 1 commit per second instead of 1,000 if you have 1,000 messages. Also, I stripped out zCatalog indexing. These are very small, content updates are very small. They're not really objects. Well, they're objects, but not the kind of content objects you would normally expect. And instead of using zCatalog, we provide our own custom indexes on time, author, and tags. We can extend that if we want. And the combination of doing batch commits and no zCatalog indexing means that instead of 10 or 20 messages per second, we have a raw ZODB performance of 1,000 status updates per second. Now that's theoretical. Well, it's a tested approach. It doesn't cover the whole stack. This is just about eliminating the ZODB as a bottleneck in write performance. Another way this performance is achieved is by leveraging upstream performance optimizations which are available. This stuff heavily relies on using ZODB B-trees, which is a dick-like interface, but it has lots of C performance optimizations in there. What's especially handy is that B-tree sets provide all kinds of set operations which you can do to effectively do query operations. So we can filter by tag, author, and following by just taking the set of messages and then the set of authors and doing an intersect on that. And that gives me the personalized stream for that person. So that's really the killer feature for personalized activity streams. And additionally, we also use editools.chain, which means that we have 2 data sources. We have the stuff that would go out of the microblog status updates, but we also have the normal zCatalog content creation, and product discussion is also pulled from the catalog. And we interleave those 2 sources and then have a chained result list. Philosophy of doing this is that it should be done in native Plone. So not rely, I did collective.kwetter before. There's lots of people who have been experimenting with this using databases or using ZeroMQ or using XMPP. This is just native Plone, and that has a couple of advantages. The other thing is I want this to be a full social experience. The stuff that people expect from their daily use of Twitter, Facebook, and such like, all that stuff should be there. It should be a pre-integrated one-click install so that you have, this is what you can do with that. But it should also be flexible components, so that if you're a developer or an integrator, you should be able to mix and match that stuff, or override certain components if you want to, so that you can achieve your own custom solution in there. It should be able to scale down, which means both from a design perspective and from a deployment perspective, it should be usable in very small sites, so you can get started easily. You can just run it. I showed you it's a 1 egg thing in your build out, and you can start working on it. But it should also scale up, because you want to be able to use this in bigger sites. And the advantage of doing this in Plone is that it frees you from any kind of preconceptions about what you can or cannot do. It allows you to do stuff the Plone way and integrate as maximal as possible. And then in the end, it's still just interfaces, it's all defined components, and you can rip out some components if it doesn't perform in a large installation, and you could replace that with a SQL-based or whatever solution if it needs to be. You can always do that at a later stage, but it's not shown that it's necessary yet. You can get this at Plonesocial. Like I said, in terms of customization, it's all just Plone, so you can leverage your existing skill set there. Just theme it with the YASO or override some browser view components, do some templating there. If you want to embed this into your own application, it's all on GitHub under Cosend. You will find all the Plonesocial packages there. It's GPL licensed. And finally, we will have an open space at 15:45 today in the anniversary hall, which is here. Yeah. and we will talk about social intranets and the way we can use it. We are already talking with for teamwork about ways of integrating this stuff with their team realm project. So there's all kinds of interesting things we can do with it. That was really quick. So, so let's see if we have any questions on this. Yeah.
How much are you overriding for the whole profile thing? For instance, I have where a lot of users come from faculty directory, faculty staff directory through LDAP, and there's like they have a profile there, but it'd be difficult to.
What I'm overriding now is just the author's TPT template, and I'm providing a redirect there to the browser view I created, and that still just pulls its info out of the out of the members stuff. So it does a get member and takes the properties there. So if that works in LDAP, that should remain working. What kind of notifications? Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, if we can do that. It's not in there yet. It's not in there. But it's that's all kinds of things you can do. For Teamwork said, we need to have not only creation dates, we also want to see modification of content, and you want to see inline, change summaries. Also, if you have a status update, like on Twitter or whatever, you can attach a URL and grab an image from there. There's all kinds of things you can do there. But this was more about providing a baseline and having a proof of concept that we can work on and making it as accessible as possible to all developers. Some more questions?
Production ready?
Well, I wouldn't say it's production. It's in production. That is, an earlier version of this is used in a project I did with 4 digits, and I've heard nothing, no problems there. But I would want to ramp it up slowly. I wouldn't want to push this into a 20,000 user site next week.
For a small site.
But you should be able to use it. Yeah, it has good task coverage on the back end, task coverage on the front end. On the browser end, it should be increased. But I'm confident that this is good code and stable code, and there's certainly there will be bugs in there, but it's all fixable because it's no special magic there. It's just having some components which interact in a smart way.
And would it accommodate content writing?
Sorry?
Could you do content writing with that?
Content writing? What do you mean?
Writing like 1 star, 2 stars.
Yeah, that's planned in the like. It's about that's content rating in a way. Saying, but then you need to also make a very smart design that people can communicate. That if you start something, well, that's a favorite. That's not a like.
Yeah.
So what's a like and what's a follow?
Yeah.
Because basically you want people to be able to like content, but you will also want to be able for people to follow content. So, but that's the next priority in terms of feature set and getting that in there. So not having just say people network, but also having the content network exposed in this social API. Any more questions? Then I would like you all to invite you to the open space at 15:45 and do some work on social internet. Thank you.